Every one of you watching this screen, look out.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
What did I tell you about cartoons?
They've got a lot of brains, and they've got a lot of chutzpah.
Tell me how comic books make you feel, Dave.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Hi everybody, it's Jim Bridges, the President of the Australian Cartoon Museum, and we've got a special guest today. We've got Paul Harris, man about Melbourne, who knows a lot of stuff about a lot of things, and I thought we'd drag him along today to see if we could run through his memory of Melbourne bands. Say hello, Paul.
Hi, I don't know how my memory is going to shape up, but I remembered to come here. It's a good start.
That's a good start. Yeah, and Plastered by Murray Walding and with Nick Vuktovic, who's actually is the collector. Murray did the writing. It's put out by It's put out by Miaganya Press.
Yeah, that's an imprint of Melbourne University Press.
That's right.
It's a prestige thing where the books are designed to lose money.
That's right. Well, they publish stuff that no one else would.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that the end papers have photographs of people sticking them up, because I've never seen people sticking them up. They must start their job about 2 o'clock in the morning so the cops don't catch them. Yeah, so let's get into it. It's called Plastered, the poster art of Australian popular music. It's a great little poster. Yeah. Okay, early stuff, The Battle of the Big Beat, Johnny O'Keefe. Do you recognise any of these people, Paul?
Yes, I do. I recognise Johnny O'Keefe like yourself, and just above him, Johnny Devlin.
Oh, him?
Yep.
Okay.
And to the left of Johnny O'Keefe, that looks like Cold Joy.
It does, you're very early. Yeah. Yeah.
That were those Lee Gordon shows at the
right.
West Melbourne Stadium.
That's right.
Where you didn't get much of anything, but got a little bit of everything.
What's your earliest concert you ever went to?
The earliest concert, I guess, I've never been to a concert at 8 o'clock in the morning. That would have been pretty early.
Well, this is Lee Gordon. Actually, when he was promoting Nat King Cole, before Johnny O'Keefe was Johnny O'Keefe, he actually helped stick these up. It's one of the stories in the book. Johnny Ray, he was big in Australia. Ella Fitzgerald, was it 1960?
They all came out.
Yeah. Kenny Ball, pretty basic sort of posters. I mean, the book's really about rock and roll, but she used to play at the what is it? Not the Palais.
She was under contract to the Tivoli.
Tivoli, correct. Yeah, that's right. Tivoli. Yeah, that's right. My brother took a movie camera in, and he filmed her from the gods, and it's just they didn't have zoom lenses. The wild one. Okay. He was sitting there playing a piano. Yeah.
Very famous promoter Ivan Damon.
Okay. Did he?
Remember the Monaghan Damon Adams, advertising agency?
Yeah, that's Philip Adams. Yeah. Oh, that's
the Damon.
Okay. And who was Monaghan?
Well, actually, Monaghan's son is Craig Monaghan, who's a film director, and he did the feature documentary called Animated about the history of Australian animation.
Oh, where they're all sitting around a big table. They're all sitting around a big table and have a movie.
Well, it's certainly full of clips and interviews with old timers, Eric Porters and all those kind of people.
Yeah, Anne Jolliffe and people like that. Yeah, and Bruce Petty. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. So the basic posters. There's that one again. Not Bill Haley. What's that? 57 they came out. Joe Turner.
They're functional posters, Jim. They're basically, because they're all-star concerts, they're basically just, rather than being artistic expression. It's just look what you're going to get for your 10 quid. You're going to see all these people on the same bill.
Well, I think it was a lot less than 10 quid, according to some of these posters. I'm interested in posters. I mean, I'm interested in cartoons primarily, but because posters actually are visual storytelling devices that actually set you up for what you're about to see. A lot of jazz stuff in Melbourne. This looks like an art student's done this. This looks very European, doesn't it?
Well, it's a kind of alternative culture of the time. If you were a jazzer or a folkie, you weren't.
Or a rocker.
No, if you're a rocker, you're a fully fledged bogan. But,
fully fledged. Yeah.
No, well, I don't know if you've seen the Pete Seeger concert, 63 at the Melbourne Town Hall. Everyone's wearing duffel coats. There's so many people there, they're actually sitting on the stage.
Yeah. Oh, but he was a god then, wasn't he?
Well, the folk scene was very big. I mean, the Seekers came out of that.
Well, the end of it, they came out the end of it. It died pretty quickly, but... Okay, we're in the 60s now, the teen scene. And it looks like it starts with the surfing culture in Australia in particular, because we're really into the beach, aren't we? Lee Gordon presents The Big Show. Now look at this. Paul Anka, Jerry Lee Lewis, Buddy Holly, the Crickets, God, Jody Sands, and look at the pictures they're using.
There'd always be a couple of acts that were very ephemeral interest, like Jody Sands. Who remembers her today?
I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But Buddy Holly and the Crickets. I mean, that's amazing. Just seeing them by themselves, but with all these other acts as well, including the Killer.
Yeah, the Killer. Yeah. Still into jazz. This is Clubs, the Arab.
Oh, legendary.
Yep. What was the name?
I think it's still there.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it still called the Arab?
Yeah, I think it's kind of been reimagined.
Yeah. I remember.
Gasworks I used to go to.
Okay.
When it was Q Club.
Okay, so what is the first live show you ever saw?
I have to think about that.
The Tavern.
Get back to you. What do you mean, like a music act?
Yeah, music act, yeah. I know you told me your dad used to like going to the, what's that theatre where...
the Tivoli.
The Tivoli. And your mum wasn't terribly impressed with that, so did your dad drag you along to those?
No, he didn't drag me anywhere.
Bobby and Laurie. One Saggy Hall. Well, that's obviously hand done, isn't it? The Beatles, God. Actually,
that's the official program from the Hall concert.
They apparently didn't print any posters because they said they didn't need to. They saved money. That's what I heard. The Vibrants, Ray Brown and the Whispers, wasn't it? Ray Brown and the Whispers. Cherokees, Mixers, Lynn Randell. Somebody's Image, never heard of them.
Well, Somebody's Image was Russell Norris.
Oh.
With Hush.
Okay.
And Tomcats was a club in Sorrento that packed them out during the summer months.
This looks like it's done by a student, or probably even... They seem to be getting more professional.
Mm.
I thought at first that looked like Rita Tushingham, but it's just the hair, isn't it? It's not her. It's got different lips. And what's this French fancy dress ball? God. And of course, a lot of these things are unknown. A lot of these artists are unknown. Now we're getting into our era, really. Okay. Pretty nifty. That's the sort of thing you'd want to knock off, off the wall. Artist unknown. I mean, I remember sitting next to girls in high school and they'd be doing drawings like that and they'd be doing things like this. Martin Sharp. Got to talk about Martin Sharp. Did you ever meet him?
No.
I did. Up in Sydney. He was, he was the art editor of Oz magazine. Australia and England, and then he did all the stuff for Cream, didn't he? Israeli gears and all that sort of stuff. He did those incredible posters of Hendrix and who else? Bob Dylan. Yeah.
It lives on in immortality for me for his love of Buffhead and Ginger Meggs.
Yeah. Well, he was in a crowd that loved those stuff. Gary Gary, what's his name? Sheriston. He's the artist who used to, and so did early.
Gary Sheep.
Kingston. That's right. Yeah, and early Brett Whiteley used to put Ginger Meggs and Buffhead in their pictures. Didn't he?
That one there, I can't read that.
This one.
I mean, that's the height of psychedelia, must be.
Well, it's a concert. John Hanson. Edison Light Company. Okay, so it's a light show. Liquid light show. Yeah, Alex Theatre. Okay. So what was it say? Wow, psychedelic poster art was a collision of melted fonts and far too often melted minds. Just what was in that cookie. Okay. Well, this is that Bertie's? Bertie's. Yeah, Bertie's. Did you ever go there? The Something Tum, Bertie's.
I think Bertie's and Sebastian's were owned by the same people.
I turned up and I just sat around, I just stood there for like an idiot and then I left. Wasn't my scene at all. The Master's Apprentice. Doug Parkinson. Now what was the band he was in? Was it In Focus?
Yeah, and The Questions.
That's right. The Semblance of Dignity. The Carlton Cinema. Really? The Fleet, that's a small... I didn't know that they ever did a live show, did you?
No.
How about that, oh? And it's a light show, yeah. Okay. Because that only seats about 200, doesn't it?
Oh no, the Carlton, about 700 upstairs.
Really?
Yeah, the old Carlton movie house you're talking about.
Next to Genevieve's? Oh, okay. Oh, pretty small. Okay, all right. Been a long time. 700, okay. Yeah, well, that was everywhere. That's also the album cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Easy Beats. Okay. Oh, great. The 70s. Acid rock stumbled into the early 70s as the sweet dreams of the 60s soured. The aroma of beer-soaked carpets replaced the scent of patchouli oil. And in the United Kingdom, the voices of the Beatles fell silent, and across the Pacific in the United States, pop festivals once bursting with love, peace and happiness became fields of murder, doubt and shame. In Australia, we replaced our kings of pop with new kings of acid rock. Strutting across the stages with their guitars slung low, these new gods numbed crowds with their lightning speed licks and endless solos as the ghost of Woodstock's past strode through our music scene. Well, I remember stuff like this. Festival of the Universe. Oh yeah. Well, I never went to that. I was just supposed to, but never went to that one. What do you think of the artwork, Paul?
Well, it's quite impressive. This is ephemeral. These are just, these are posters on the wall, or sometimes be a flyer on a windscreen.
Yeah, that's right. They banned that because people used to come along and scrunch them up and throw them away, and there was paper all over the place. The councils... but, I mean, posters will only last a week, or two at the most, weren't they? They'd stuck up. Did you ever go to the Much More Ballroom?
Oh, yeah.
And
I recognise a lot of this work.
Where was that?
In Brunswick Street. Cathedral Hall.
Okay.
Up the top of Brunswick Street near Victoria Parade. And John Pinder was the brainchild behind that. And I think it was his cousin Phil who did a lot of the posters. Phil was a lovely, gentle guy.
Phil, that's Phil's signature here.
Yeah. Phil unfortunately died a few years ago. He decorated the toilets at the Carlton Levy House.
Like when you say decorated?
He did artwork in the latrines, and I think he also designed Melbourne trams.
Okay, the art trams.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry, the little models.
Okay, oh yeah. Stoned Again, Ross Williams, Mondo Rock, Kevin Borich Express, Dutch Tilders. God. Some of these names haven't heard in years. Stoned Again, Neil McLean, Melbourne's Ormond Hall.
Spectacular posters. I mean, a lot of them are appropriating the style of,
the Americans.
Fillmore, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the San Francisco stuff. The Reefer Cabaret.
That's the poster there, the Reefer Cabaret one. I'm not sure if that was Phil or somebody. Everyone asked me about
it's
who designed
120, artist unknown. Oh, that's the circus one. Oh, you were talking about that before, yeah. Spectrum. Dennis.
This stuff was on the way out in the 70s.
Yeah.
Because my memory is the liquor laws were liberalised, and
the pubs took over.
the hippie thing sort of got taken over by beer barns in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And different style of music.
Well, pub rock. Randy Newman. Oh, it's lonely at the top. Oh, Harry Chapman came to Australia. At the Pellet, okay. So it was obviously worth, we had pretty small markets compared to the Americans, but it was worth their while to come to Australia? I mean, they made the money?
Yeah, well, famous case is Rodriguez, don't you saw the film Searching for Sugar Man? That kind of rewrites history. I mean, Rodriguez was played on Triple R. He toured Australia twice. If you read the film or watch the film, none of this is even mentioned.
The Whittle family. It's Slim Whittle, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember this poster. I think someone had it on their wall.
Mitchell's a really good cartoonist.
Mitchell
Fairclough.
So he did this?
No, he was, Slim Whittle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, see, he would have done their own, because a lot of them did their own stuff. What's his name again?
Well, they all went to...
what, art school?
Yeah, out at Preston.
Oh, yeah. The Preston Tech, that's where a lot of them came from.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of, Philip Brophy.
Oh, yeah, he's in here.
I think that it was all a bit of a romp.
A bit of...
Well, no, they did it as a bit of a piss take, doing, this concept of the Whittle family.
So this is Stars of Sunbury, because this has come to Hobart for the biggest rock concert presented in Tasmania. So the Stars of Sunbury. Yeah. Did you have... You didn't go to any of these festivals, did you?
No, I can't stand the thought of them.
No, that's right. You wouldn't come. That's what I remember.
Well, I just, sitting in dust and mud.
Yeah, and sunburn. God, sunburn. Skyhooks. Her Majesty's Theatre. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ian McLaughlin. Do you know much about him at all?
Oh, a very identifiable style. And he was someone from inside the tent. He was a music buff, and of course, very famous also for the Mad Max logo.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's good.
And lots of album covers.
Yeah. This is not the book for album covers. There's one or two of them. That's about it. Okay. Remember that one? People in the background. This is Bob Daly. I think he's Sydney, isn't he? Sydney. He looks like a Mambo guy, doesn't he? It's like Mambo art. Yeah, they were great. Incredible on stage. Willie Nelson. God, who's done this? 178. Phil Ellett. Okay. Frank Zappa.
There's a famous David Bowie concert, the MCG.
Chris Cross. Oh, Chris Cross from New Zealand. He's a cartoonist. He's very good.
It's immortalised in Dogs in Space. The opening scenes of Dogs in Space.
Okay. That's Chris Cross's big break. That's came with his poster. He had a big budget. I wouldn't have thought that Frank Zappa was that big in Australia in those days.
Well, this is the era when...
Things were breaking out, like everybody was going their own way.
No, there were lots of people were buying import albums.
I was going to say, because
a cult following.
You'd have to buy import albums, wouldn't you? What was that great shop in the city? Everybody went and bought stuff from.
Archie and Jugheads.
Yeah, and
was the first one.
The world music. What was the world music? Sid Rumpo. See, Sid Rumpo, isn't that a character from the Goons? Isn't it Sid Rumpo?
Yeah.
I think it's a character from the Goons or some British thing. Yeah. Oh, that's a famous poster. Lock up your daughters. Remember this device? Yeah.
These posters kind of using photographic imagery.
Yeah. Well,
you're getting beyond the psychedelia.
And also because there's money. There's people being paid. It's not, it's a professional thing. They're all signed it. Neil Curtis died a couple of years ago. He's famous for drawing Australian native animals in kids' books, and he had a beautiful way of drawing, beautiful way of inking in particular. Well, that's returned to the old days, isn't it? So which is the artist? Which one of these is the artist out of the Whittle family?
Slim.
Okay, Slim. Okay. And what's her name?
Tracy Harvey.
That's right, Tracy Harvey. She's got that wonderful smile that reminds me of that British comedian, the 40s and 50s. That big grin on her face.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing them when they'd start performing. She always used to say, "Give us an F, Whit." That's very funny. At the time.
At the time. Oh, now we're getting into... this is overseas influence. This is like Andy Warhol stuff, isn't it? At the time. This is punk, getting into punk. Midnight Oil. Okay. The Boys Next Door.
Well, I recognise that. It's the lettering, very Philip Brophy.
It is, yeah. Your nephew did a few posters too, didn't he?
I'd be surprised over in this though.
You'd be what? Oh no, they're not. I love this poster. I think it's great. Who did this? The Xavier Cross. I think that's great. It just says it all. Heart and soul, yeah.
That was talking about Martin Sharp, the Yellow House.
Yeah, well, that was the they were following the Van Gogh idea, weren't they?
Mm.
Yeah. It didn't last long, but because these guys, their egos and stuff.
Oh, there was also lots of urges and freeloaders.
But it lasted longer than the first one. The 80s. Well, this is Mambo, isn't it? That looks Mambo-ish. Here it is. The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, yeah? Duran Duran, isn't it? What do you think of this? I didn't like these sort of pastel-y colours in posters as much as the some of the best posters were just in black and white, I felt. Sunny Boys. See, it's hard to read. Of course, a lot of these things you only read as you were in the car going past them. You know what I mean? They had to They had to really speak very quickly to you.
Well, there's a punk style is very, I find it very hard, like slash lettering and
Yeah. The shower scene from Psycho. That's funny. You know that iconic picture of Mickey at the start of the cartoons?
Phantom.
Yeah, oh yeah, big in Australia. Very big in Australia. It's not so big in America where it comes from. Now we've got the, what's his name? Reg Mombassa. Mental as anything. Bicycle tour. Very funny. Very funny. He's a New Zealand guy, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think
But
he is.
a lot of these were designed by, what was his name? Paul Worsted.
Yep.
He did a lot of this work.
He did this stuff. 79. And that's 88.
He was greedy. Dropped dead just a few weeks ago. 63.
Yeah. 60. Gee, okay.
Fluoro style.
Yeah. Stephen Cummings. He writes, doesn't he? He writes now, doesn't he? Yeah. Does he perform at all?
Yeah.
Still performed? Okay. Sports. He was in the sports?
Yeah, they had a sports reformation, and he played with Martin Armiger, who also just died a few weeks ago.
I went to the last sports concert.
Well, Martin was playing there.
Okay. You told me to go. You said I'd never heard of the sports, and you said go to the last concert. I think
At the, what's it called? Nemo Hall.
yeah, yeah.
Nemo.
Bond. The Black Sorrows. Yeah. Do you reckon you'd get away with a poster like that today? This is 87. Do you think? I mean, rock posters are in your face. They're sort of like they're sort of pushing the boundaries all the time, aren't they? Mm-hmm. So you reckon you get a poster like that today? I mean, that's not really probably a black person, but that's the watermelon thing. You know? Oh, anyway. Gee, that's Phil Brophy. Yeah, that was a classic image, wasn't it, from the 60s and 70s? Yeah, all this. Now,
He's very specialised
in the know.
diagonals.
Yeah, in the know. He obviously was into Malevich and the Russians. Yeah. Tivoli. Hilton.
It's in South Australia.
Okay.
Well, no, it's New South Wales.
Yeah.
A good band, the Laughing Clowns.
Yeah. The Bachelors from Prague. Raglis. A trumpet player. Okay. So he was a trumpeter. You've got the lights on the St Kilda, Prague, Broadmeadows, Moscow and Port Melbourne. Yeah.
The Fragles are still around.
Peter Tosh. Okay. T-Bird Lounge. Well, that looks pretty good. I think people would want to knock that one off. You drive past and you see a post and you say, "Oh, I've got to check that one out." And you get out of your car and you check it out, and you try and peel it off, and it wouldn't come away. It'd be, there'd be dozens and dozens of ones underneath it, and you'd be pulling the whole lot off. You know what I mean? And they're all too bloody big to put on your wall and all that sort of stuff. A lot of them. The Ramones. Okay, photos. Who's that? That's obviously a Hollywood.
That's our gang.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was from. Yeah. Bunch of brats. '88, go. They're all old men now, aren't they? Anymore. Steve Malpass. I remember this one.
He worked at Mushroom, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a career outside of that, but he did lots of posters for concerts on local venues and record covers.
Well, may I say God save the Queen, and nothing will save the Governor General. Once upon a time in the West, country music stuff, okay. The Johnnies. Yeah, well, it's all gone professional. The artwork's all it's all, it's internationalised and...
Well, it's the same with film posters. There's no artwork in film posters now, it's all Photoshop.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. We've done a couple of films on film posters. Oh yeah, going back to where Psychotic Turnbuckles. The ears at Naples with the Maguires.
Sam Sajewski's band, Dogs in Space.
Okay. They've been around a long time, haven't they?
Yeah.
How many years? The 90s.
Well, Joe would be in his early 70s, isn't he?
Yeah. Silverchair. They originally named something else. They were just kids, weren't they?
Don't know.
They were just kids, and then they one of them read that book. What is it? The kids' book about Narnia. And there's I think one of the books is called Silverchair or something. So they named themselves after the Narnia book. Yeah, I didn't see an Endless Summer poster. They were everywhere. But it's a film, really. But they used it on dances, didn't they? Big Day Out. See, it's very...
It's Maria.
Okay. Maria who?
Well, Maria Kozic, who was Philip's partner.
Phil Brophy's? Yeah, Maria Kozic, okay. Okay, yeah. So, see, this stuff's, we're moving into the era of computers, doing stuff on, with computers. TISM. TISM stands for...
This is Serious Mum.
That's right. And they're all school teachers. They're all school teachers because they put out a couple of comics of themselves. Oh, here's Fred Negro. Do you ever meet Fred?
No.
Yeah, he's always pushing the envelope. Always pushing the envelope. And he specialised in, because the posters went down to A4 because he did his own posters on his own photostat machine. Yeah, Crowded House. Well, they had a lot of artwork on their albums and their posters, and that's quite plain compared to what they did later on. So what year is this? 93. That's Germany, isn't it? It's Germany, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know which one who did the artwork. I think it was this guy. Can't remember now. We're losing our memories. Treaty, Ansett Australia. God. What year is that? 89. He looks like a mad rocker there. Yeah, this is Dylan Naylor. He did a lot of comics and posters. He did comics, bar jars. Yeah, he did fireballs. Did Darren Dill, and you found his stuff in the in show bags at the Royal Show, because he did comics just for those. He did a lot of he's still doing them. He's still doing a lot of stuff for bands. Spider Bait. Oh yeah. You just leave that so you can update it in there. What the Australian version of Nighthawks, you reckon? Do you know the painting by that famous, iconic American painting? Yeah, we haven't had much Japanese influence yet from the comics. Their first bit of pop culture from Japan. Is that the same image in the cover of the record? Is it the same image, or is it different, slightly different?
Wouldn't know. That artist shows, I don't know, similarities to Rick Griffin.
Yeah, the underground guy did all those incredible surfing comics and posters, extraordinary stuff. Yeah, we're moving into computers. Yeah. Yeah, this talks about the new system of the old system completely died, where people would make money doing big posters and stuff, and every man and their dog has a go on the computers now.
Well, it's the passing of the traditional graphic designer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pop art stuff. Dylan Naylor again. The Queen. Jesus. Elvis with a transplant over here. Is that Hitler? Yeah. Nursery Crimes. Are they a punk band? Nursery Crimes. Do you think there's a similarity between film posters and rock posters? Or they had different styles, different traditions?
I've never thought about it.
Well, you've seen a lot.
Film posters basically finished.
Yeah, I know. That's a straight pinch from Jack Kirby. The cartoonist from Marvel and DC. The great Jack Kirby, King Kirby. Blood like water. Yeah, you see, the thing is, you're driving past and you're stuck at lights and you see a poster. That's basically my experience. And they put them on poles, they put them on all sorts of places, you know. But the poster, if you can't read it and there's too much to read, it hasn't served its purpose. But now, if posters are done at all, they still do them. They also sell them as artworks. You know what I mean?
A lot of the kids today, they don't go out to see local bands. They go to festivals or
yeah.
More picky. It's a different cultural environment.
Well, we're all corralled. I mean, in my day, you're a jazzer or a rocker or a folkie, and now, I mean, people are into 40s music and all sorts of stuff. You know, cowboy swing, all sorts of stuff. So, you know, the market's all over the place. The Apollo. Is that in Sydney?
No idea.
Okay. Well, it's an old picture theatre. That's what I thought you might know. Could have been renamed. Chicks on Speed. God. It looks like filmic, doesn't it? Yeah. All these ads. So these are the are these the songs?
They're actually, it's I guess it's a tribute to those old ads that used to appear in dime magazines where you could, send away, get your bills cut in half or something, and they'd send you a pair of scissors and a mail order.
Yeah.
Outlandish ads.
But this is an album. Are these the names of the songs, or are they just sending it up? They're just sending it up, aren't they? I thought you might know, but okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there. Kids on the Block. These look a bit too corporate-y, don't they? I think a lot of fans don't like slick stuff, posters and things like that, they keep away. Fu Manchu over a Southern American Cross. Mixing your metaphors. Okay, well, we're coming to the end of this book. What do you think of the book, Paul? You think it's worth buying? Whacking it in your bookcase and checking it out every so often?
Oh, it's a great resource, and it's a living history before your eyes.
Yeah, well, it brings back a lot of stuff. I
don't know if you're looking at the art or just nostalgia for the lineups of bands long since gone and musical movements long since
I think
submerged into the consciousness.
One of the things that surprises me is the amount of people who are on the same shows together. You know what I mean? That you'd never thought that they'd actually be on the same ticket, Well, this is Isle of Wight's a festival, isn't it? The Breeders. Oh, he came out to Australia. Okay. 2001. And the New Animals, okay. Still around. Yes, well, I don't know half of these people anymore. Okay. Ah, Kylie. Yeah, I'm glad they put these photos of the people who put them up, because I've never ever seen them. Only the big ones they do in the daytime. But it's a broom. It's an actual broom he's using.
Oh, Machine Gun Flies,
Yeah.
big fan.
Yeah.
Krista Hughes, daughter of Dick Hughes.
Really?
Yeah, she's a cabaret performer and a bit of a musicologist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, there they are, putting them up. Okay, well, I'm a bit disappointed in the book in a way, because I just see too many overseas influences, not enough Australian. But I thought Mambo was pretty good. They only touch on it. But there's so much stuff they've got to do. It's just so much stuff. So it would have been hard doing the book, I think, just selecting them, like a lot of things like this. Anyway, I'd buy it because I think it's the writing in particular by Murray Walding is really funny and interesting and to the point and very snappy, and doesn't waffle on. And thank you, Nick Vukovic, for collecting all these things over the years. Yeah, it's mostly from his collection. It's a private collection that we're all going to benefit one day. Okay, well, this is Jim Bridges
and Paul Harris,
and saying check us out on Patreon and press that red button for subscribe, and and we'll do some more films for you. Okay, see ya, bye-bye.
Thanks for the sour persimmons, cousin.